Welcome back, one and all, for another Wall Street Journal market report where we're going to talk metals, we're going to talk money to make sure you're up to date on the movements this week because it once again has been crazy. I would say right now that this year to date might be one of the most influential and important to the market of metals, gold and silver, that we have seen in some time. It might be one of those that was the first chapter of a new generation. Time will tell, but we're going to get down to it here today. A reminder that this video is sponsored by APMEX, the American Precious Metals Exchange. So whether it's old vintage silver like these Morgans or Peace dollars, new age stuff, if you like bullion that is in generic form, if you like world bullion coins from around the world, APMEX is absolutely the place that I like to go. And speaking of that, just so you know, here on October 6th through the 13th next week, there will be what we call the Big Fall Sale. I remember this last year. I bought during this time last year, and it's a week-long sale, and with the spot price being so high, my guess is premiums will be much lower. So I could imagine that there would be some at spot specials and some inventory pricing, things like that. But I would definitely say gold, silver, and collectibles will for sure be on sale. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. Speaking of APMEX, I also have a really nice box of silver right here that I'm going to be unboxing later on. So make sure you're paying attention for that. But that, of course, is for another video. Today, we talk money and metals. So here we go. Let's go ahead and open up the exchange. I think many of you probably have paid attention to what's going on in the markets. But if you haven't, I can catch you up to speed. Been a crazy, crazy time if you have not been paying attention. All right, so here we are on the exchange. We'll start at the Dow Industrial as always. And as you can see, right here, 46,758. We are going up 238 points. October 3rd, that was Friday when markets closed, all-time high. We're there again, folks. The markets are doing big things, which is obviously good for America. Here we are, S&P 500, 6715, up 44 points. We're sitting right there, 10.3, Friday, all-time high. A little bit more of the EKG train here. And then we go to the NASDAQ Composite, 780 right there, 63 points down. So we didn't make an all-time high, but we did miss it by just a day. So really, this week was just full of all-time highs. Very, very fun stuff there, and that is a fantastic thing to see because that means your 401ks, things like that, should be sitting in a good place. I know mine has been. So it's always nice when our finance, our economy here at home is doing good, just like our metals are. Well, what about the world? So here's our international stock index. We have the Americas right here. Take a look at Canada. Canada's doing well too, 1% right here, a full percentage point in the black. That's always good for our neighbors up north. Here we have Mexico down south, not quite the same story, down almost a 0.75% right there at 0.64. Everybody else pretty well in line to neutral. We have European areas right here. Look at Denmark. This is the first time in recent memory they've been on the positive side of things. 1.5% gained, and doing some research because I didn't know last time, the pharmaceutical industry is the biggest part of that economy, and one of their top brands had taken a big hit, and that's why Denmark had fallen in recent days, at least one of the big reasons for that. Here we have South Africa. South Africa's been on a tear. The rand is strong, 1.56% right there. We've got Sweden right here, almost a full percentage point. Switzerland not too far behind, 0.64. We have Turkey in the negative 2%. We have seen Turkey up, we have seen Turkey down. I know we're getting close to Thanksgiving, but Turkey is all over the place, folks. UK, both doing well for their TSE 100 and 250 respectively. And we go to Asia. The Hong Kong markets, a 0.5% down. We have Japan here flying at almost 2% there. And Taiwan, our friends in the semiconductor industry, 1.54% there. So the markets around the world are doing nice things. Overall, there are obviously some that are not quite there yet or didn't have the best week that they would have wanted, but that's neither here nor there. We want to go ahead and check what our metals did this week. So as you see, silver spot, $48.24, folks, and that is another 3.5% gain. $1.63. I cannot believe this is the world that we live in. It's just been crazy. We have seen a huge percent growth here this week. So that being said, let's see what it did against the dollar. We know the dollar didn't necessarily do well. As you can see here, silver did. That's just where we are. But against a winning market, the Dow Jones and S&P, we also see that silver wins the day. 3.5%. Keep that in your head because we're fixing to go to gold in a second, but we're not there yet. Check out this chart. This is from January to today. You can see in both of the blues, the dark blue and the light blue, those are the S&P and Dow Jones. Silver is in the gray, and it tells the story. It obviously has pulled away quite dramatically, though the first 2 months seemed that it was pretty parallel with the markets. How about gold? Gold sitting at $3,901, folks. So they also gained 3%, $114 on the week in the positive. Not quite enough to take it from silver, though. Silver being 3.5%, gold at 3%. Still a crazy ripping week. Here against the US dollar, nothing crazy there. Kind of what we expected with those numbers. How about Dow Jones and S&P? We see once again, both did things that were great, but silver and gold both won the day here. Not crazy to think that. And here we are with the year to date. We are sitting with a very like thing with silver, but obviously with the year to date being 47% and silver being much more, it is, just a crazy chart to remind us that metals have done this year what many people have thought they would do for generations. And in talking with Pete over at Longhorn Gold and Silver, he said that yesterday was one of the craziest days of buying and selling silver and gold he had ever had, going back to COVID times. People were all over the place trying to buy it, trying to sell it. So it was a crazy time there at his desk. So that is what we have for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. And as always, please remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.